Hello, everybody. I am BJ Williams. I am making this "Can I Be Vulnerable" video for me, to be honest with you. It's my own selfish reasons, but my hope for it is whoever's out there watching it, find somebody that they can be vulnerable with as well. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. Just didn't know how, and it finally hit me a couple weeks ago. So it's just a grown black man being vulnerable with a few things in his life. So here we go. So what led me to therapy? There's a few points that I can start at, but I think I'll start at the day that I decided that I needed individual therapy. I was actually in couples therapy with my girlfriend at the time, and couples therapy was going well as it could, but it was then that I realized, like, yo, ultimately this is not going to work because I have healing to do individually, and there's no way in hell that I would ever be able to be in this fully, happily, with all my tools if I don't go heal over here. And so one day it just hit me, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go. And so I left that relationship, and like a week later, I was in individual therapy. Back that up, my older brother committed suicide. Memorial Day 4 years ago. And suicide is finding out a family member committed suicide is one thing. Being on the phone with that person for 2 hours, telling them it's going to be all right, is a totally different thing. And I've been in some pressured situations, but I don't think you don't know pressure until you're trying to, what you think is saving somebody's life. And that was my catalyst. I've had a funeral to go to every year since 1998. It's a lot of death. And my girlfriend at the time said, you know what, BJ, death follows you. And it's a very scary thing. I don't know what to do about that. I've never been to war. I don't do drugs. I don't deal drugs. I don't gang bang. I don't live a violent lifestyle. And some of the people that have passed, it's been nature, it's been natural, it's been, old age, and I can deal with that. You've lived a full life. I'm not mad at that. Some of it has been tragic. I've had a few people commit suicide accidentally. I've had people die violently. I've had people, some have been close family, close friends. Some have been slightly distant family, and other people that I knew really well. It's been, so death was, and death is the reason why I'm so defensive. I let people in, and if you get too close, I'll kick you out. And it's just my defense mechanism. And so what I thought I was doing is like, all right, I thought that I was handling these losses pretty well. Like, someone died, I'd cry for sure. But then I'm like, all right, life goes on, X, Y, and Z. I thought that I was dealing with it pretty well. I was always had outlets. I had sports, I played college ball, ran college track. So I always had some kind of outlet, but that's physical. I didn't necessarily deal with it emotionally or as mentally as well as I thought I could. And speaking of sports, concussions. It's a huge thing now, but I remember waking up not remembering a lot of stuff. And now I get absent-minded. I forget things. Like it'll just be the most random thing. And it scares me. And so with therapy, it's an ability to, so I got into therapy because of that. My mom died when I was 16. She just had a stroke one day. I mean, that's just what happened. She was an alcoholic, so she was slowly killing herself anyway. And as a adolescent boy, I don't really know much about that. Like, I don't know how to help. I don't know how to help her get help, And for a long time, grown-up BJ had a hard time forgiving adolescent BJ for something he had no control over. I felt like I could help. Or I felt like I should have been enough for her to help herself. And I didn't understand how addiction works. I didn't understand how alcoholism works. I didn't understand how it can be a drug. until a few years ago when I got into therapy. So those things led me to seeking out a therapist. And it's been dope ever since, man. It's been hard. It's not easy, but it works.